Hey guys, welcome to episode number 387. Today is Monday, so it's Update Monday. And today I wanted to focus on the 300-gallon stock tank, sort of where it is now and where I would like it to be in the future, and what the plans are to change it up and fix it up. So as you guys might know, the 300-gallon stock tank is home to my group of black knob map turtles. Mostly they hide inside of this milk crate. You can see them going crazy now because I moved all the decorations. They are a very shy species, and essentially what happens is this milk crate that's tipped up on its side here, they just like to hide in that milk crate all day long. And it's really difficult to see them, it's really difficult to enjoy them, and I sort of feel bad that they think that the only safe place to get out of view in this entire 300-gallon stock tank is in that milk crate. So I want to change that up a little bit. The milk crate's probably going to stay, and they're probably going to still use that as their primary hideout. But I would like to sort of transition this tank into a more natural looking tank and maybe make a little bit better of a habitat here than just a bunch of stuff thrown in the top and a bunch of wood thrown in the bottom. This is a very haphazard sort of setup, and the reason being is because I've moved this tank 2 or 3 times down here in the basement, and every time I had to drain it out, the last thing I wanted to do was fill it back up and decorate nicely. So we're moving into the fall here. It's a little bit more comfortable to be down in the fish room. There'll be a lot more fish room videos this fall because I can spend some time down here. And one of the projects that I want to work on is sort of beautifying this 300-gallon stock tank. I want this place to be a place that the turtles enjoy hanging out, a place where they feel comfortable, and a place where they have plenty of hiding spaces, but also a place where they feel comfortable enough to come out and say hi and explore. So what I'm planning on doing is creating some sort of internal basking area inside of this 300-gallon stock tank. It'll also serve as a nesting box. I want that to be internal because I don't want more things on the outside. You guys may recall I had an external breeding box, nesting box, over here at one point. It just sort of turned into an eyesore. It was sort of in the way a whole lot, so I decided to get rid of it. But these guys are getting big enough now where they're going to need something eventually, and so I'm going to work on that. So I want that to be as natural as possible. I'll probably still use this giant piece of wood as sort of the ramp to get up into it, and I'll probably position that off to one side. Then what that will allow me to do is sort of rethink how this tank is, I'm not going to say aquascaped, but arranged, so that I can have areas that are sort of safe, some areas that are semi-secluded, and some areas that are completely open so that I can sort of stand over it and enjoy the inside of the stock tank. And I think part of that starts with getting these things to, instead of just all be tangled and floating on the top, maybe getting some of those submerged, and you know, maybe taking some of them out and doing something else with them. I don't know that I'm ready for live plants in a turtle stock tank. I just think that's a little difficult to manage, but it might be something to explore in the future, especially if it's a very hardy species of plant, aquatic plant, that doesn't have super intense lighting requirements. That might be something to consider. But essentially, I want to create 3 zones within this tank. One that's safe, one that's semi-secluded, and one that's completely open. So if you just think about that in terms of the amount of space here, it'll be about, you know, cut into thirds is what I'm thinking. And whatever that basking area is will probably be located around that safe zone And I'm hoping that I can use, you know, some stones, I can use some driftwood, I can use sand and rock and natural materials that are going to be turtle safe, fish safe inside of this stock tank. I'm not too concerned with the pumps and the plumbing and things like that. It's not something that I want to completely hide. It's not going to be like super biotope tank. But I do want it to sort of look a little bit cleaner, a little bit neater, something that's worth basically spending your time looking at and enjoying. So that's sort of the idea. If you guys have any suggestions, any inspiration that you'd like to share, any ideas, I'm certainly up to hear them. I think there's a lot of potential because this is a lot of square footage, and I'm excited to sort of make better use of it than what it currently is now. So that's sort of the plan. Part of the plan is also related to the plumbing. Obviously, this barrel system is sort of an eyesore. I'm not really concerned about how it looks. This is a fish room. I'm more concerned about how functional it is. But the functionality of this 2-barrel system hasn't been great. And part of that reason is the swirl filter, as I've said before, isn't really doing a super great job. The mechanical filtration barrel isn't doing a super great job. Essentially all of the particulate matter is just settling to the bottom, and then I'm not able to get to it, and it's just collecting, and it's not a really good situation. And what I've done sort of as a band-aid fix is I've suspended this mesh netting material. I put a piece of open cell polyether filter foam over the top, and then I've placed a small piece of blue bonded on top of that so I can catch some of that particulate matter. The problem is I need to change this every couple days, and then I need to wash this out like once every week or two just to sort of keep up with it. But it's important that the big heavy stuff doesn't get into this barrel, because it's just going to mix it up and it's going to spill it back into this tank, and then we're in trouble with cloudy water once again. So one of the ideas that I had was actually completely tearing down this mechanical barrel, raising it up a little bit, and actually drilling another hole, another one of these uniseals into the side of that barrel. And essentially what that would allow me to do is raise the amount of air space that's inside that barrel. Right now the water's like right here, so there's only this much air, and I want to do that to give myself a place, a platform, a position inside of the barrel which doesn't have water, not covered by water, which would allow me to place some of these layers of mechanical filtration in the air, sort of allowing me to do something like this but on a larger scale in here. So that's sort of the idea. That'll probably be a weekend project at some point to set that up and get that operational. But that's at least the concept here, to get this in better shape. And the mangroves, again, they're not doing super well. They're not, you know, completely dead, but I have found that if you don't dose these after a year or two, they'll just start to degrade, whether it's lack of iron or something else. Again, I'm not completely sure. If you're an expert on keeping mangroves in aquariums, let me know. I mean, I've had quite a bit of success with them, but essentially what happens is they just get some sort of nutrient deficiency, and eventually they'll die off. So I might replace these at some point with a new set of mangroves. It seems like I just cycle through mangroves every couple of years, and they do a really good job with helping with the water quality. But obviously they're not going to grow to tree size indoors with you know, some sort of nutrient deficiency. So anyways, that's the deal with the mangroves. That's the deal with the 300-gallon stock tank. It's the last thing to mention is the waterland tub here is currently housing the hatchlings, which are now getting to be a pretty substantial size. And I might experiment here soon with letting these guys loose in the 300-gallon stock tank after I sort of rearrange the stock tank and get that set up for use. And I think, you know, because there's not a huge size difference with them anymore, they should be good. But I do want the tank to be set up in a way where they feel like they have hiding spots that are away from the larger turtles if they need it. And I do want enough open space that I can monitor them to see if they are getting picked on or bullied or anything else, because then I'll need to separate them. But long term, I don't see this waterland tub sitting here in the corner. Again, I've had sort of a couple different makeshift solutions. This is just the latest iteration of that. I will be keeping the waterland tub, I just don't really want it positioned there. Essentially, the fish room is set up exactly how I want it to be over here. The turtle tub is set up basically exactly where it needs to be. I just need to make those updates that I've been talking about. And then this side of the room is just sort of, collecting dust and storage and everything else. So not really a part of the fish room, just sort of in the way. So yeah, I'll probably revisit the waterland tub at some point, but it sort of was a temporary solution for me at the moment. Obviously this is the main breeding setup. When these guys start to breed and when I start to get some eggs out of these guys, then maybe I'll set that back up as the hatchling tank again. And maybe I'll set that up in a different spot. I could set that up over here. I could set it up somewhere else. Not really sure. But that's essentially what's going on down here. That's what I've been thinking about. I'm super excited to get back into the swing of things down here in the fish room. I know I've been talking a lot about a lot of different projects that I want to do down here and around here. And this is sort of the beginning, the start to all of that stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.